Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Ding, ding. Welcome to the 10-8 podcast. I am your salt in this spice duo, Jojo, and this is my co-host, the wonderful, the not as cool, but still jiving, Shaquille. How you doing, Shaquille? How you doing over there?
I'm fucking sick. I'm sick with this intro, man. You didn't go there. You didn't go there, but you heavily implied that I was the salt.
Yeah, pretty much.
Of this duo.
Pretty much. But all you need to know is here at the 10-8 podcast, we might not always get the KO, but we are unanimously your favorite fight fans. Anyway, Shaquille, there's just been too much
craziness, man,
going on.
Craziness.
So much tea that I doubt even England could drink all of it. Speaking of England, London specifically, we just came off an electrifying fight night. Possibly, it's been being called like the best fight night of ever.
It's hard to argue with it.
I know, man. Jeez, like the crowd was insane. Everything was so electric. Like, man,
it just reminded you. It just reminded you why we need UFC in London, man.
Bro,
it's insane,
bro. The FOMO that I got just listening to the crowd.
Could you imagine? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, bruh. Like, I even get bored sometimes. Well, like, okay, I get, like, salty when I, like, hear fighters boo other fighters.
Sure.
You know? Like, I get a little salt. I'm just like, we just go back to the apex where it's, like, quiet and shit.
But then those moments.
But then you just you just felt the energy. Like, I heard a good comment on Reddit, on the forums. Like, they were talking about, if you wanted to introduce a friend to MMA, like that's the card that you'd show them.
Absolutely. Like you talk about an environment, like when Meatball got, like when she knocked a girl out and she just gets on the mic and she's like, "Oh, Paddy the bad," and then the fucking crowd is going nuts.
Crowd just starts going.
I'm getting chills. I'm not even there. I'm not even there. I'm just like, this is where like almost like an event feels like everybody's one. Like it's a symbiotic. Everybody came to do their job. Everybody showed up to do their job in dramatic fashion. The crowd showed up and showed out. And, the England fighters. I mean, they really showed up, man. They really showed up to represent for their country.
Can you think of a fight night that elicited like such main event energy, like that one? Like, can you even like think of anything like that?
I can, but this is the thing. I can't think of one where there wasn't, like, you do have star power on this, but it was really more of a hometown, we're representing for our fighters kind of a fight. But I have seen the other fights like Conor and Rio, like, oh my God, like terrifying. But that's because of the star power of Conor, and he kind of elevated that. But it just felt like this was a unique card where London to rock out for their fighters, and I just don't know another place that really rocks out for their fighters like that. That was insane, man.
I really don't. Like, it would be really nice if they could maybe do Usman Leon Edwards there. Because arguably, in my opinion, Leon Edwards is probably their best fighter right now. Like, they're most like skilled and like generally like skill relative to rank.
Right.
I think so.
And so Arnold Allen backs that up too. He said that in his post presser. He said, because I think somebody claimed, like, aren't you the best? England fighters is like, no, it's Leon Edwards. That's the man. I trained with him. He's all around. He's on another level. He echoes that same sentiment, man.
No, legitimately skilled. It would be cool to see that card happen. were done in London and just go back, man. It was just, I was like, sheesh.
I want them to go back this year. I want them to go back this year, man. I need to see. I want them to go back this year.
I know. Like I was telling you, I have family there. I like if that happens again, I'd be tempted to like fly out.
Oh, sure.
And stay there.
Why not? Yeah.
Yeah. It would be dope. It would be super dope. But that's neither here nor there. Anyway, the news. There have been a lot of very, very, very
crazy.
Well, I wouldn't say important, but very, I don't know, somewhat like detrimental things happening to the MMA world.
A lot has been going on
recently.
A lot has been going on.
A lot has been going on, and man, like it is like the drama, man, the drama. Like I don't have to watch TLC to get some of the stuff that's going on.
I see what you did there.
This definitely seems like some shit I would see on like a reality TV show.
Sure.
But we have local MMA star of Florida, Jorge Masvidal, threw a couple sucker punches at ex teammate turned rival Colby Covington. Man, like when it popped up on my feed,
where were you?
I don't know. I wasn't like super shocked, but I wasn't like, but I wasn't like.
It was like whoa,
too underwhelmed.
Yeah. It was somewhere in between. Like you can't be shocked, right? There's no way you should be shocked, but at the same time, you're like maybe surprised is a better word. Like oh shit, that actually went down.
I know, and it turns out that that's not all. Colby fully plans to press charges, which would essentially be the correct thing. But I should say allegedly. He allegedly attacked Colby outside of the club, even if there was video evidence.
Well, he kind of snitched on himself, and we're not here.
He very much so snitched on himself. Like, what's his name? But I think like Nate. Nate definitely was like
that. He was just like
Nate was like, how you gonna snitch on yourself, man? I was like, I don't know.
It's a good point. And like if anything, I mean we've talked about this offline. That's my biggest issue with it because like I understand I don't advocate for this kid at all. What he did, bottom line, is fucking wrong. And I get tired of everybody being the bigger person. Allegedly. But I'm tired of everybody acting like the bigger person with this kind of stuff. One, why are we not shocked that this happened? Because he had said it multiple times. Literally, he said exactly what he was going to do. Down to the fact that he said it was going to be at a fucking restaurant when he was going to do it. He said that. There's video evidence of that. I'm not condoning it. I'm just saying he was there with it. And then the argument that people have, which is a good one, is you had 25 minutes to do it. Well, it clearly wasn't enough. It clearly wasn't enough. You had 25, but it wasn't enough. It didn't satiate the need that was being felt, and obviously nobody condones sucker punches. It's obviously some weak shit to fucking do. But we've all been. I mean, we haven't all. JoJo and I have grown up in some places where that's not necessarily. It's not a foreign thing to do when you really don't fuck with somebody and you really want to hurt somebody. So I almost understand the aspect of where George is coming from. He said it was going to happen multiple times in videos. Nobody really took him seriously, and then he fucking did it. So I can't fault him, but I don't condone it. It's not the right thing to do.
That's very true. That's very true. Kids, if you have beef, settle it in the octagon or the ring.
That's what it's there for.
In a sanctioned match by the whatever state commission that you are in. Hopefully it's 25 minutes, so you have enough time to get your hits in.
One more thing I'll say about this. I do want to say, like, this is a message to some of those people who bring in personal stuff. You know, some people will take it. Some people won't. But the world isn't just a professional octagon area, and you can't always control somebody's reaction. You can't literally. What I was taught is you can't control other people's reactions to what you do or say. So if you're out there saying some wild shit, understand the world is not a professional atmosphere, and you're liable to have some dirty shit happen to you because you ran your mouth about somebody's personal life, somebody's personal religion, their father, all that kind of stuff. I'm not saying Kobe deserved what he had coming. I'm just saying be careful about what you say out there. And be careful about the people you provoke, because you never know what kind of mindset they're in to do you dirty. You know, we see people lose their lives for less.
I suppose so. Regardless, it would have been. I feel like this is going to be used in the promotion of a rematch. So we're going to be looking forward to that. Possibly. Okay. Over under. If the rematch happens,
I'm taking the under.
The promo.
Well, I'm saying I'm taking the under on.
If the rematch happens, does this get thrown in the promo?
If there's some kind of rematch that would happen, then yes. But I don't think a rematch could happen. I don't think that would ever happen.
I mean,
so I'm taking the under on the rematch. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but if it did.
If it did, if we're living in that world, of hypotheticals, then yes.
Would Dana be shameless enough to put this in the promo?
Actually, what does he have to throw in? You know,
he has the headlines, the news.
He has the headlines, but he doesn't have
he has that grainy footage.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like grainy though. It's not as good as Conor throwing a dolly at a bus.
That's true. It's not as clear.
It's not as clear as cut. You can zoom in and I still take the under. We'll see. I think there's just enough heat on there. He could definitely use the headlines. The headlines will be used. But yeah, man. In other news, I don't even want to bring this up, but I just kind of want to talk to you about it. What did you think hearing about that jail stuff? I mean, I feel like maybe he didn't address it because
is getting arrested.
Everybody's getting arrested, dude. Conor, too. We might as well go ahead and throw it all in there. Conor's back in the news for driving recklessly. Chael Sonnen had, I believe, recently been charged with 11 different charges, varying the most extreme one being a felony by strangulation. And that event had happened a while ago. The charges, I don't want to say were dropped, but they have been picked back up. Conor speeding, doing crazy stuff, driving recklessly through the streets of Ireland. It's just not a great week for MMA. What are your kind of thoughts about this, man?
Well, from what I've read, it generally seems that I'm not gonna lie, it sounded like some Chuck Norris shit.
Yeah, it sounded like a group of guys, right?
A group of dudes, and one girl.
One girl, yeah, that's what they were saying in the video.
Who are just trying to take on the great Chael Sonnen. He has the biggest biceps in the league, right?
Rumors out.
And the greatest charm. Yeah, bro. He said so himself a long time ago. But it sounded as if he fought just multiple attackers off. Just 5-on-1. And it just seems like the coolest. I don't know. It seemed kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie. It seemed pretty awesome. But if it was self-defense, then I don't know what what are you gonna do? It seemed like he's being charged with something, right?
Yeah, that's the problem. Is he's being charged with multiple things.
Shit. Well, man, I mean every thing that I've heard of it, it seems like it was like a self-defense like situation. Like it like he just so happened to be around and someone was messing with his like wife or something, and he just started like throwing hands around like it was going out of style.
If that's the case, then obviously we have really nothing to talk about, right? Self-defense, protecting your own. But the fact that he's being charged, there's a clip out there. Girls literally recording him as he's getting arrested, and the police officer is saying, "Where's the girl that he hit?" And then the lady on the phone is just like, "Oh, she's down the hallway." So hopefully it is self-defense. Chael's usually good about addressing stuff, and I'm sure he will at some point. But maybe he can't because it's an ongoing case. I do hope it is what you're talking about, because that would make me feel, a lot better about it. But nonetheless, man, just a crazy week. And Connor's ass, stay out. You got drivers, man. Why you need to be driving crazy?
No,
man?
bro, that's literally the next, the final news. Final bit of news is just recently came up. Conor McGregor arrested over alleged dangerous driving. And has €170K Bentley temporarily seized.
It's a nice car, man.
I know, like,
it's a nice car,
man. It's just like it's funny how money just be changing people. Oh, and if you guys want to know the conversion, that's about like 186K US. Anyway,
I was like, thanks for that. I didn't know that. So that's yeah.
Yes, I know, but pretty much, I mean, like what do you do? What do you do with Conor?
I mean, honestly, he's at that point where like he has enough money, he could pretty much do what he wants to do, and as long as it's not too crazy. I mean, dangerous driving, obviously, like we don't really have the details of how dangerous and all that stuff, but nonetheless, man, just come on, man, come on.
Yeah, when it comes to people, like in sports. When it comes to like people in sports, especially like pro sports, when they reach the highest level, like being paid of like the way they do, it like changes a lot of, I don't know, a lot of people. There seems to be a trend of like underprivileged people finally breaking into like the highest level of sport, and then like when they get there, they just go bananas.
Can you even blame them? Like where they came from, you don't have the training. Nobody put you in a position to tell you how to handle these emotions, how to handle money for the first time, especially if you're the first in your generation. Like we're talking about people who can handle this. They're extremely rare, man. I mean, we're talking about people like, I hate to bring up the cliche iconic go-to, but LeBron James, he comes from nothing, literally, like parents, nothing. And for somebody to be able to toe that line is the exception, not necessarily the rule. Because like you said, when you come from nothing and kind of get to that place, you kind of do act wild. You're in a place that you could have never imagined yourself being, and so much of your focus and hard work came from getting to that point that sometimes when you get there, you don't really understand what to do now, and that's when people get a little crazy, man.
That's very true. I know, it's like it is like kind of perplexing how when that like switch generally happens.
Yeah,
maybe it's the first check they get. Maybe it's the I don't know, when they first get recognized on the street. I was
about to say that, right?
That one like starry-eyed kid.
Yeah, I mean, it's just such a mix of things, and I mean, me and you both have read the book *Sapiens*, and that just gives me a kind of clear indication of how humans have been more so than not. And for the most part, we're not even used to being in the spotlight like on the magnitude that people are now. So even getting the recognition, like even if people aren't getting paid well, just getting that recognition alone is a drug, man. But yeah, let's go ahead and move on from this. I got something that I know you're excited about that's happening this weekend. It's kind of a rarity in the MMA community, but we have the Iron Man, Rod Tang versus Mighty Mouse Johnson happening this fucking Saturday. Special rules.
No one's talking about this.
This is why we're here, bro. This is why we're unanimous.
No one's talking about this, and it makes
you sick.
Very upset. I know.
So let's talk about it, man.
I know. Like, of course, Rod Tang, excellent Muay Thai practitioner. He has over like 100 fights, like a lot of like Muay Thai, like young Muay Thai practitioners over there. He, of course, like is just generally like one of their household names in one. Generally, like I think he is undefeated in one's kickboxing besides Tension. Besides, I suppose his like split decision loss to Tension a while ago. And you remember the person who they hilariously put against Mayweather in a boxing match for like no good reason.
No good reason, but $6 million purse.
Oh yeah, Jesus Christ! But like anyway, yeah, he definitely like he definitely is like along with like Angela Lee and like all the Lee siblings and stuff like that. He's like he's just like one of the faces of one. Versus Michael Johnson, the flyweight GOAT, who arguably beat Triple C twice.
You said Michael Johnson.
Oh, what did I say?
Yeah, so I was just like
Mighty Mouse.
Johnson, the guy that snatches defeat from victory. But
no, not Michael Johnson. Mighty Mouse.
Yes, sir.
But we like one of the overlooked like champs of the UFC,
which is crazy to me. How is he overlooked?
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Like, this is crazy to me. Like, the defenses, like, what is he at, 10? Like,
yes.
Come on, man. That's sick. That's sickening.
Yes. He very much so is overlooked. A mixture of, like, the size of the opponents and, like, I don't know, just just casual viewers didn't,
fair enough.
enjoy him as much. But anyway, point is that his striking is not bad at all, but I don't see it being as it's definitely not as developed as Rod Tang, because Rod Tang,
right?
All he does is strike. Man. It's just Muay Thai.
Yeah, he's a specialist.
But if he can get out of the first round, I think the first round is Muay Thai.
Yeah, I was about to look that up.
The second round is MMA. The third round is Muay Thai, and the last round is MMA. So I feel like if he can get out of the first round, then he can generally take it. But I don't know, man. All I know is
it's gonna be good.
Yeah, it's gonna be banger. It's gonna be pretty dope. It's weird rules. But
yeah, what do you think about the rules? Do you think that this is something that should be kind of replicated in maybe a more strategic way? Do you like them playing around with this kind of idea, this kind of setup? Like, what do you think of the creativity? Is it all for naught? Do you think it's just going to automatically default to the MMA person who could get the person to the ground, at least 2 of the 5 rounds? What are your thoughts initially?
Yeah, like I definitely think that they're trying to accommodate Demetrius. Um, I really think that they of course want to get their money's worth. So this match seemed kind of like what they created for him, but I don't know when you would do this kind of match unless you wanted to have like, I don't know, some kickboxers and boxers versus MMA people in the future. I don't know, like just generally like just place it. I don't know, place it on the promo. Be like MMA versus just pure strikers. Who will win in this hybrid?
Or you can do like no takedowns for set rounds or something. Just like little modifications rather than going full gusto on it.
Hey man, it seems pretty cool. I don't know. Whatever the fans like, I'm sure they'll do it. I don't know.
That's true. It really comes down to the fans. Like if they're
if the fans mess with this, then I feel that like they'll start throwing it a lot more.
Yeah, dude.
But I don't know.
We'll see. I just want to stay with the flyweights. This is going to be a quick one. Figgy versus Davison 4 looks to be next. Like, goddamn. Christ. Four fights, four flyweight fights in a row, and like the only reason I'm not upset with it is because of how close it was. But I'm getting a little tired here, man. Am I alone in that?
We all jokingly said like, oh, we can watch this forever, like. But it would be nice to get the. I don't know. It would be nice to get the division moving. Like it would be nice to.
Let's be real. Let's be real. Let's say this plays out. This could be a best of seven. Man. You know what I'm saying?
Bro.
This is crazy.
I know everyone is horny to watch them get more CTE, but and the fight is good. I'm not even gonna
It's a good fight. We're not
It's a great fight.
I'm buying it. Yeah,
but yeah, I'm buying it, and I will watch the hell out of it, like the last few times. But I would really like to see like more contenders in the flyweight division move, so we can like build it, so we can so people won't just see it as like just that. That
the flyweight is getting exactly the flyweight division is under siege of getting branded by these two gentlemen. And then basically you're not going to be able to stir up any drama outside of these two gentlemen. And that's not really a hole they want to get in, because how it's currently looking like, I don't know when that fight's scheduled, but let's just say for sure after May. If Moreno wins that fight,
there's going to be it could be a fit. See, man. No, like,
that means that's all of our 2022 is that for the flyweight division. So I'm thinking about who we're talking about coming up. Askarov, who's a monster. Kare-France, who's on the fucking uprise. Roy Val, and then who's old boy who has a win over Moreno? Alex. Can't remember his last name.
Oh yeah.
So you got a handful of these dogs waiting, and they're just not going to get the shine that they deserve because you have Moreno, who's, I'm not going to say probably going to win, but is extremely motivated to win this fight, considering he goes into destitute if he loses, even though he's an amazing. It's just we need some parity there, man. This fight is there for the fourth time, but again, Moreno wins four times, and what if they draw the fifth time? You know what I'm saying? Like they're that close. Like
they are.
It's I'm here for that fight every day of the week. But damn, man, I'm just like, let's get somebody else in here to just get some parity and build the division.
We need it. We definitely need it. Like, we get no shallow divisions.
Please, man.
No shallow divisions.
Yeah, man. That's all I got for news. What else you got?
That's all I got. Well, let's move on to the card that we have this weekend.
Let's do it. So man. I'm super excited for this card. I mean, it kind of, man. Once upon a time, not even that long ago, we were just kind of shitting on the heavyweight division. They got tons of prospects on this upcoming card, but I'm really excited for the closer of the prelims, which is Neil Magney, all-around stud versus Matt Griffin, who just packs a motherfucking pistol, man, wherever he goes. Who's really, Max Griffin had a rough start, a rough go to start in the UFC, but the last 3 fights, 2 of them being stoppages, pretty impressive. He's coming on. 2 of them being TKOs. Neil Magney, we all know, well-rounded, coming off of a unanimous decision versus Neil. He won the battle of the Neils, but got handled pretty handedly by Michael Chiesa. But for the most part, we know Neil Magney, all-around guy, pushes the pace. When he wins, he usually wins big. He does damage. It's not going to be too many split decisions for this man against somebody like Max Griffin, who's really finding his stride within the UFC and just really starting to find the mark and really packs a punch and is a threat to knock anybody out. Who do you got in this fight, man? And I guess, what do you think is going to be the Achilles heel of the loser in this fight?
I want to give it to Neil Magney. I like the general height advantage that he has over like most of his opponents. If we bring up, let's bring up some statistics. If there's one thing I like is numbers and the story that they can tell.
Please.
But yes. Anyway, I generally like the advantages that Neil Magney generally has. He has the reach advantage, and like on top of that, I feel that he has like the slight like wrestling edge that could like prove to be fairly like difficult to someone like Max Griffin. Mm-hmm. He tends to, a lot of his losses have, come by like decisions.
Right.
And someone who has like high cardio and is able to put like a decent pace on someone, I feel like could be able to just bring him to that decision.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm generally going to give it to Magney on this one.
Dude, I'm right there with you. I mean, this is kind of like a Colorado card. We got, Curtis Blaydes and Neil Magney, but that Colorado cardio, man. And
Colorado cardio.
Whew, it's something different. And I just feel like when Neil Magney gets in the zone, when he gets in the pace, he's just a hard guy to beat, man. And he knows how to nullify power. He'll tie you up. He'll mix up the game. And you can give Max Griffin a lot of things to think about. And I don't know what the betting odds are, but I would guess they're in favor of Neil Magney. I'm picking him as well. I just think he has all the tools to get it done. Rather than if Max Griffin wins this fight, it'd be a KO. That's how I see Max Griffin's past victory. But I see Neil Magney hitting early, hitting often, and then just setting the pace. That's just really hard to match and keeping up with.
That's true. And I generally like to put my faith in the Magney, bro. Like sometimes he can be like fairly spotty, but man, does he have heart? His heart. He was the one who was calling out the dark horse, the famous dark horse. Old boy. what's his name? Hamzat, yeah.
Hamzat, yeah. Man, he's not scared. He's willing to go with the smoke. And if you just look at his record, I mean, this guy is tested. Like, obviously, he got beat pretty bad by Chiesa. Just kind of got dominated in positions throughout the fight. But, like, if he doesn't lose that fight, he's on a 5-1 win streak. And then he gets knocked out by Santiago Ponzinibbio, who's, that dude got some strength. And if he wins that, I mean, he's literally, he would have been on an 8-fight winning streak, man. This is somebody who, I guess we can just say stubs his toes in certain moments, but when he shows up, man, it's something scary.
Man, yes, we all know that if he wouldn't have lost, he would have been on a winning streak. But anyway, yeah, dude, it is really cool what the man can do. I'm generally excited to see him. It feels like it's been a while.
About a year.
Let's see let's see if he welcomes this newcomer into the ranks of the top 10 welterweights.
See if he's ready for it, man. It's a good test.
It is. It's a great test. It's an amazing test, Shaq. Anyway, so speaking about moving flyweights, we have the next fight. Kare-France versus Askarov. This is an interesting match on the UFC Fight Night card. Honestly, it seems like it should be like a main event. Not a main event, but like a co-main event to a fight night. But man,
and the only reason it's not is because Figueiredo and Davidson got the future tied up.
I'm saying Askarov, of course, hailing from Russia, comes in with a 14-0-1 record. With Kare-France's 23-9-0, 1-0 contest. Askar surprisingly has a shorter reach, despite being taller.
Okay.
And by 2 inches, and shorter reach by 2 inches, and it's like the flip flop for Kare. So of course, 48% of France's wins come from KO or TKO versus Askarov's 23%, but Askar finishes a lot of his fights via sub. 54% of his wins come from subbing. So he's getting mostly finishes. 23% have gone to decision versus Kare-France's 39% have gone to decision. So
how much percentage of knockouts does Askar have?
23% of KO/TKO. Gotcha. So pretty much Askar is mostly finishing people. When with Kare-France, it could be either or. He could get a decision or a KO, but he's most likely going for the KO, for the TKO. Kare lands a lot more, but as explained before from the last, he just he has about 5.1 strikes landed per minute versus Askarov, which is like 3.7. So pretty much, Kare-France is just landing just missiles on people, just like he's a machine gun in there. Yep. He's just going in on them. But here's also the thing: 55% of Askarov's lands per minute are significant strikes versus Kare-France's 40%. So
efficient.
Yeah, so he is very efficient with his shots, picks his shots really well. And probably uses a lot of them to, create like grappling exchanges. And Kare, not surprising, absorbs a lot more than Askarov. 3.79 to 2.65. Askar is just, man, that's really impressive. Kare-France, that is a lot. And then of course grappling, most of which are in favor of Askarov.
Sure.
He has like an O and a V at the end of his name, so you can just assume that his grappling acumen is gonna
it's true.
gonna be fucking ridiculous. You already know. So pretty much like that's generally how it goes. Man, I really feel it's a hard one. It's really hard. The matchmakers or the whatchamacallit, the odds makers, they're really not they're not giving Kai a chance out here, man.
What's the odds?
The odds are he's like the second lowest. It's plus 300.
Well, that's a bit large. I will say, yeah, that's a bit large. That's a bit large. Obviously, Askar can control this fight, so I understand him being the favorite. I do think he has the potential to really control this fight and really do it where he wants to do it. I will say, and this is a nice kind of addendum to what you broke down about Askar. Yeah, he's finished. He finishes a ton of his fights, but they all happened before the UFC. And last time I brought this up, Arnold Allen got a fucking knockout. But nonetheless, his time with the UFC, split decision draw with Moreno, unanimous decision versus Tim Elliott, unanimous decision versus Alexandra Pantoja. Alexandra Pantoja, and then Joseph Benavidez, unanimous decision. All great wins. None of them came by knockout or submission. So we can be in for a long night. This Kai can turn this into a war.
He can.
So it is a very hard one. It is a very hard one to pick, but when it comes down to it, who do you ultimately have getting their hand raised at the end of the night?
I could definitely see. I definitely can see Askar just like dragging this to less than spectacular decision with with very, very good like wrestling and grappling,
right.
Throwing hands, of course, initially to like get into into clinching situations, and then being able to like either finish it or just like, I don't know, or just like ride to a decision from there.
Yeah. I mean, if we look at the historical data, at least in the UFC, we can legitimately make the argument that this is probably, like, if you were to put your money like on a modifier of this fight, that this fight is going to decision.
Yes.
I think the smart money would be on it going to decision. I think I'm with you on this. I think ultimately Askarov ends up with his hand raised. That being said, I would like to see Kai win. I think Kai definitely has an equalizer. I mean, that boy has power in both hands. So he definitely can shake things up, and I know he's looking to shake things up. And the crazy thing is, this is pretty much a number one contender's fight. So yeah, we'll see if City Kickboxing shows up for this. But yeah,
I know my boys at City Kickboxing.
I know we should have talked about that. Honestly,
it breaks my heart.
Maybe we'll throw that in. Maybe we'll throw that in at the end. But yeah, man. Next up, we have Joanne Wood versus Alexa Grasso. JoJo. Who, you know,
JoJo.
Who I don't want to say she's fighting for her job, but yeah, she's coming off of a she's basically 1-3 in her last 4. Coming off of 2 losses. Alexa Grasso's coming off of 2 wins. Her last loss was to Carla Esperanza, who is obviously going to be fighting Rose in May. Not a bad loss to have on your record, especially it being a fight of the night. Yeah, man. What do you think about this fight? I mean, I know you like JoJo and obviously upcoming talent and Alexa Grasso. How do you think this ultimately ends up playing out? Do you think they're just feeding Grasso to kind of get her over with the fans, feeding her a name?
I think that JoJo has, I don't know, I feel like she has shown, I feel she'll be around for a long time. She's done generally well at the UFC. She's fought generally hard, and I don't think she'll be going anywhere.
She is 35.
I like her name. I think is they should have put her on the card last week.
I agree, dude. That was yes. When I was looking at this, I was just like, what? But it's just what happened. Why did they miss on this?
I don't know. Maybe it was just too full, but like. Still, though, I feel like it would have been cool to see her there. That would have just added on, like, made it a little bit more stacked. You know, she's Scottish. Does she train here? Does she train in the? No, she trains in the UK, I believe. But it would have been nice. It would have been. I thought that would have been cool if they put her on. Just like she just literally missed the most hype like card in the UK for a while.
She fights out of Syndicate.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so pretty much it would have been dope to see her there. Point is, it does seem like she is just in that elite gatekeeper stage.
Yep.
You know, in the division. If you can at least tussle with her, you will be like semi ready for the champ.
Right.
Or you are like you're deserving of being, you know, in like the top 15, top 10.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I think I have Alexa Grasso winning this fight, but you're right. Like JoJo is a tough out. And, like, you can't really sleep on her skill set. She's a vet in the game. She knows her way around the octagon, and she really can play spoiler. Tonight, this is definitely a fight that she can play spoiler in if she, you know, just brings that veteran knowledge into the octagon. But I do see Alexa Grasso ultimately getting that hand raised at the end of the night.
Maybe so. But never count out the warrior with the high pitched voice. She will surprise you. Anyway, the main event.
Let's go.
The fight that maybe a lot of people have been waiting for. It is Curtis Blaydes versus Chris Daukaus. Daukaus getting another chance at a crack at the top 5. It's going to be a pretty interesting match. They both have a lot of advantages and disadvantages that can prove very worthy to the other and could take them to victory and possibly put them in like direct line of, you know, a possible number 1 contenders fight or even maybe a title fight if things go, I don't know. Well, you know, no one knows what the fuck's happening with the heavyweight division right now. So, yeah, dude. All right, straight up, who you got?
You know, this is a moment. This is a real moment for Curtis Blaydes right now. Like, I feel like he we say this all the time about him. He has all the skills to really get it done. But when it comes to actually mixing it up, when it comes to time to do it, he has a hard time doing it. He's a young fighter, so nobody blames him. But I think
he's taken so much punishment.
He has, and
so much punishment.
Like I wouldn't even like bringing this up, but that Derek Lewis uppercut, man, that was something else. That was a knockout, man. So he's taken some real punishment. He does have the equalizer with the wrestling. He just needs to be able to be active when he's down there. I think the last time we saw him down there with Rosenstruck, it was just kind of like, well, what are you doing with these positions? We understand that you can get here, but you're not really doing too much with them. He's just an exciting prospect, in the imagination. I would just like him to cross that threshold. Now, Chris Daukaus had his first shot to crack the top 5 going up against the Black Beast and could not get to that challenge, but he's a threat, man. He really is a threat. He's nice with his hands. He has good footwork, and he's going to be around if he doesn't get KO'd. Everybody has that equal in power and heavyweight. But when it comes down to it, I look at Curtis, and I'm like, this is a fight for you to lose. I guess this is your fight to lose. I'm picking Curtis, man. Who do you have?
I would probably also go by Curtis, simply just based off of statistics. General higher takedown accuracy. Actually, Daukaus hasn't really ever attempted a takedown, so he's highly disadvantaged in that department. They're generally equal in significant strikes. Blaydes lands less per minute, but their significant strikes are fairly similar, like 51% to 53% in Daukaus. Daukaus absorbs more damage per minute. So Curtis, he doesn't really get hit a lot, but when he does get hit,
he gets hit. He gets hit.
Yeah, when he gets hit like that, it just seems. So I don't know if this is Daukaus' chance to get that one really big hit, which is of course it's generally the go-to for a lot of heavyweights.
Yeah, it is.
It's to get that big one. But I feel like that might be the general goal, is to try and land that one significant strike on Blaydes, because Blaydes, his movement is really nice.
It's
his
good.
Movement is good. His striking movement, his head movement's nice. His jabbing and
But the problem
is looking really nice.
It is so nice, but it's something about keeping that movement and being able to fluidly switch into a wrestling takedown that he struggles with. He looks fucking amazing, but he telegraphs his takedown. He fucking telegraphs him. So it's just, and I'm sure he's worked on that.
But if he gets you into a clinch, then he is probably very much so going to take you down.
Facts.
But it is just blending it together. It's very binary. Either I'm striking or I'm grappling. There is no gray. It's just black and white. But yeah, it's pretty it's a little worrying part of his game. But still though, I feel generally he is the more skilled fighter out of the two, but we'll see. Daukaus could just come up top.
Well, he could come in there. He could come in there and do his thing
and just land that bomb that just puts him on ice, just puts him on skates, and then that'll be that.
But if you had $100 of your dollars, who you putting it on?
Yeah, I'm putting it on I'm putting it on Blaydes.
Yeah.
Blaydes is what I'm going to put it on. Yes.
Curtis Lionel Blaydes. There you go. Fight fans, put your money on Curtis. And thank us later, man. But I agree. I think it's just the smart
You're
money.
welcome. I know. Let that be a makeup for the parlay I said for the last one. I mean, you definitely did not. If you went with what I said, you definitely did not win.
Well,
shit.
You did say that you picked with your heart. You picked with your heart. You know.
I did pick with my heart. I did.
It happens. It happens to the best with us.
I know. Logistically, it should not have. It should have been an easy pick, but still.
Hey. Yeah, let's run through that one more time for our fight fans. Who let's say $100 your parlay. First pick, Neil Magney versus Max Griffin. I think we both picked Neil Magney. Askarov versus Kare-France. Who did you pick?
Askarov.
Yep, I picked Askarov as well. The only reason I asked is because he could have picked with his heart. I know he wants Kare-France to win that fight.
Yeah, I really do. I really do want Kare-France to win.
And then Joanne Wood versus Alexa Grasso.
I'm going to go with JoJo.
You're going with JoJo, so this is where we part ways like the fucking Red Sea because I'm going Grasso this way. So make a comment if you go with my parlay and it gets you money, and then we can send hate mail over JoJo's way together. And then finally, Curtis Blaydes versus Daukaus. We're both going with Razor Blaydes there. And when it really comes down to it, who would you say out of those 4 fights, who's most likely to have fight of the night and performance?
I'm not gonna lie to you. Curtis Blaydes has been kind of slacking on that aspect. I don't even think Dana White even appreciated the way he performed the last time. What was the last time? The last time was against Rosenstruck. Yeah, he wasn't a fan.
No.
Wasn't a fan of the way he won that fight.
Agreed.
So I don't think he'll get it. I think Kare-France versus Askarov could is a potential one. Neil Magney versus Max Griffin. Max Griffin could just randomly just throw a bomb.
Overhand right.
Yeah, and just explode Neil's face. So that could happen.
I'm going to have fight of the night going to Askarov versus Kare-France, and performance of the night is going to my boy Neil Magney. Fight Elevation team. Let's go. But man, we recently talked about this. Obviously, we're just coming off of a super hype card from UFC London where we got to see Liverpool's own Paddy Pimblett. And I just kind of wanted to open the discussion and get your thoughts, strategically. What do you do with cash cows if they're, and I'm not saying that these cash cows value does not. What do you do when they're not, say, the number one fighter or let's say even top 5 material, but they are
skilled?
Yes, correct. But they are 100% draws. They're cash cows. They make you money. So how do you balance the relationship of making money, building their brand, but also testing them and putting them up against competition, because you have an obligation to put them in there with people who can actually compete with them.
See what the correct thing to do is you need to slowly but surely bring them up. Generally, these cash cows tend to be fairly younger, maybe mid to late 20s, and giving them the time to be able to work out their skills and talents. And so you give them less than stellar competition to not only build their brand so that you possibly get a highlight KO or sub out of it, but you also build their skills. So then potentially when they do fight that higher, the higher echelons of the fight game, then you have a better fighter that you can more so count on winning those fights and increasing their brand, and thus, increasing your brand of your promotion. So pretty much we've seen this with, of course, like Michael Venom Page. At the beginning of Conor's Conor's career, they put him against Dennis Seaver, which was like a striker who wasn't as like lengthy as he was.
Mm-hmm.
He had like a really cool spinning sidekick KO, or spinning side, TKO. So, they're like, let's put him with a striker that's like kind of on his way out, who's not ranked. And a lot of people were like bemoaning the fact that like he wasn't being set up with like some killer wrestler from Russia or some like slick jiu-jitsu python from Brazil.
Right.
They were throwing him, just like softballs.
Yeah, I feel like that was the case, but something weird about Conor McGregor is like when you just look at it, he fought some fucking gangsters that we thought were supposed to be.
And that's the thing though, yeah, like of course like Paddy's being kind of slightly touted as like dollar store wish Conor McGregor. But like
I see you as Louis V, Paddy. Go ahead.
Yeah. Exactly. But it's really it is generally how it was handled with Conor, and you see how, the fruits that was able to produce.
Absolutely.
So essentially me as a promoter, if I have a Paddy, if I have a Sean O'Malley,
mm-hmm.
like I'm not going to have them fight like the upper crusts of fighters, simply because a lot of people don't like their personalities,
right.
And their brand. I'm gonna bring them up slow to build hype.
So with Paddy, obviously he's made the news. With Ilya. Is that a fight that you just scrap, or is that something that's realistic for Paddy to overcome? Because the thing is, Paddy has won both of his last fights in the first round, but in both of those fights, he went through some kind of adversity. So we see the peaks, and we can also see the kind of cracks in the shield, so to speak. And what you're saying is 100% right. It's like you do want to bring these up slowly, but then what happens when you're met with the friction of the market that's kind of demanding? Or maybe it's not even the market, but the natural flow of events that's demanding them for these higher level fights, like Ilya versus Paddy. Like, do you just ignore that and just be like, okay, we got to get Paddy some other fights, even though you have this guy who's going to keep bringing him up in the news, who's going to be like, I'm calling for, like, you know what I'm saying, continuously discrediting the brand and like being like, oh, he's going to like, what do you do there? Do you just make the fight and then just be like, I can sell this guy even if he loses?
See, that someone made a really great point that, like, I want to say it was like on like Luke Thomas or someone or other, but all I know is that they made the point that, like, yes, you can like put them with all these like cans, but you'll always be questioning, like, oh, like, if it was such and such, they would lose. If it was this and that, they would, like, and then you'd have your cash cow like spouting on, social media, like the champion of that division. They'll be like, oh man, I would probably knock that dude out if I felt like, and everyone would be like, let's make this fight, but then you as a promoter, you're going to be like, no, because I'm not done developing this person yet. Like that, like there's a possibility he'll get destroyed. The brand takes a hit.
Right.
And your potential next Conor McGregor or at least like somewhere close to that, is like generally like diminished. So
I feel you.
Yeah. So pretty much like you'll only be left with what ifs. And I guess generally, I think it's smart to like, if you were a cash cow, there's a lot of issues, that come, like fighter pay that happen. Like Paddy the Baddie was apparently he was paid the base level with the $50K on top of it.
Yep.
So that, and then on top of that, he has to like taxes his.
Of course.
Well, actually, I don't know how it's taxed.
We don't know. Yeah,
taxed in Liverpool. I've heard that like you're not like taxed that badly in London, but I'll probably just ask my auntie about that. But like,
it's worth it.
But you still have to pay your camp. You got to pay the people who fed you.
And how I even look at that, obviously, like, let's be real. Paddy deserves more than the base pay. What I'm about to say is not, like, I'm not trying to contradict what that statement is with what I'm about to say. What I will say is he deserves a new contract right now. Like, he got paid what he got paid. Whatever. That's retrospect in the past. I just look at it as like, hey, beginner lumps, but he 100% proved that he deserves a new contract right now. There's no reason that he should be getting that minimum. Even if he had, like, let's say 3 fights for his first one, void that last one. With all that business that you guys brought in, UFC London, you see the star power of this kid. He deserves a contract after that one. Sometimes you go through the growing pain. I mean, he did make $75K in a fucking minute and a half. That's fucking immaculate.
That's true.
That's
true.
So it is what it is, growing pains, but I do 100% think he earned a new contract. I don't think if he has more fights on this deal that he needs to exercise it. But yeah, it's interesting, and it brings up the question of like, some of these guys, even though they're touted as, like, let's say cans, I mean, they both of Paddy's opponents landed a strike where it looked like shit could go south. So would you rather have your brand lose to a can or lose to somebody with a name? It's just, it is a hard balancing act, so to speak, because eventually they are going to run into somebody that's unknown but is a badass.
Yeah. Man, that was another good point, that like when comparing Paddy to Conor McGregor, a lot of that stops there. Like when you looked at Conor McGregor's technique and fundamentals with his striking, you knew he was something special.
Facts.
Like you knew Paddy the Baddie, like he's exciting. He's great. Gets the entire crowd wet with his technique.
Yep.
But there are a lot of things with his striking. His grappling is really good.
Oh, it's off the charts.
But with his striking, that I don't know, that there are general holes that can be taken advantage of even by some of the lesser skilled talent. So
and it doesn't even seem like he has a strong chin either. Like,
there's one thing. Go ahead.
I was just about to say, it's one thing to have bad striking, but it's another thing to have a weak chin as well.
Yeah, he definitely, like, when pressure is put on him, like, he's the type of person to like bite down on the mouth guard and just swing with the person in the phone booth. Like, chin health be damned. He'll just do so. But it's just like, just some of those things that you saw in Conor versus Paddy, you're like, oh, well, this guy is obviously like an exceptional talent, versus Paddy, where it's like, you're really, really exciting, but there's still a lot of work to do.
Right.
He's young. He's young, so that he can definitely improve. And it looks like, he has that ability. A lot more kicks are being thrown than a lot of his like past fights, like in Cage Warriors and stuff. And it looks like he's like putting certain things together. So I'd really like to see where he goes.
What does the peak of Paddy the Baddie look like? I'm gonna go ahead and say this, and I hope he proves me wrong. But I kind of see him in that 10 to 15 rank range, in the lightweight division. I don't necessarily see him rising above, like, I don't know, 7, 6, something like that. I don't see him getting above 6.
Man, that's hard to say.
He's young. That's what I'm saying. It's super early. This is super early projections, but I just kind of wanted to get your idea, because this is one of the most dangerous divisions. 100%.
This is extremely dangerous. I really hope that it like goes somewhere far.
Yeah, same.
He has a lot of work to do on his game, and yeah, man,
same.
We're just gonna have to see.
We'll have to see.
We'll have to see where it goes.
I'm not hating, Paddy. I'm just I want to see. UFC is where dreams come to get made or crushed, man. But yeah, let's stay over. Let's stay over in the UK kind of area. And what's kind of weird is, like, I'm seeing everybody like dismiss this upcoming fight between Kamaru Usman and Leon Edwards, and it seems like Leon's the only one talking about this fight, and like it kind of breaks my heart, because like, one, Leon's kind of an awkward dude, and like he never kind of wins over, but like he is a badass fighter, man. He's a good fighter. You got Usman talking about Canelo, other people talking about future matchups between Usman and McGregor, Usman and Hamzat, just potential future moves for Usman, and not really addressing the threat that's in his way. I mean, this is a threat that, theoretically be on the level of a Colby Covington. Like this, he could cause some fucking problems, especially if he wants to stand and bang. And Leon is tall, powerful. He'll have something to say about Usman's takedowns. But are we sleeping on Leon Edwards? I mean, I don't think I'm sleeping on him. But maybe I am. Maybe I'm just falling into the dominance of Kamaru Usman, and we just ride this wave until proven otherwise. But what are your thoughts on, I guess, Leon versus Usman?
I think Leon is being vastly underestimated as far as this like fight goes. I feel that he poses challenges that Colby and Masvidal wouldn't be able to give.
Right.
The current pound for pound greatest fighter on the planet. I feel that he it's been what? How old was Leon when they fought? He was like 22 or something.
Let's roll with that for now. Mm-hmm.
Yes, he was like 22, 23. And like Usman was like 25 or something,
Mm-hmm.
25, 26. There's definitely a lot of improving that would have happened, like would have had to have like happened within that amount of time.
Right.
There's no way that he was just like sitting on his hands, of course, because he has this streak since then. There's no way he's just been chilling, like just like doing absolutely nothing, and like I don't know, but like of course a lot of his wins do tend to like come to decision, but still though, like
they're dominating decisions, man.
Yeah, he's very good at risk management. He's able to just outpoint people from range and just simply be able to clinch really well, and striking from the clinch is, has been shown. But pretty much, I believe that he will do generally well, especially in like the striking exchanges. I think that he will do better in the striking exchange. I feel that he'll do better in the striking exchanges than the others. His kickboxing is really good. His boxing is like, it's like, okay, ultimately I say Usman, but like where it falls off for me, where it's like kind of understandable, is that like he does throw a lot of kicks, and a lot of those kicks can be caught and taken into like wrestling, into like wrestling situations. He does like finding himself into the clinch so he can throw like, his like elbow, those like cool elbows he does, that can lead to him getting in, of course, another like more wrestling exchanges. So I feel like it could just be like the same as the previous fight, but both of the fighters have improved. So I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's interesting.
It's interesting.
Also, like we've seen Leon get put on skates a little bit. If Usman, oh my God, if Usman gets a fist on him, man,
it could happen. It could happen. I just think, it's one of those things when you're in a fight and you totally have the fight where you just get so fucking comfortable that you just almost disrespect your opponent. That's why I think he really got caught. Like if Nate was more of a threat to him earlier, he would have been on his toes. I feel like Usman's going to be a threat to him throughout the fight, so he'll be on his toes and be a little bit more weary of that. But I mean, we got to give it up to Leon. Go ahead and tell me what was Leon's last loss?
I want to say it was Usman.
It was fucking Usman, man. This guy knows how to fucking win fights. I'm super excited for it. I think I'm ultimately taking Usman, but I'm not ignoring the fact that Leon could come in there and sneak away with some shit, especially if Usman, for whatever reason, can't get the fight to the ground, and just falls in love with his hands. There's no reason to believe that. Usman's fight IQ is up there, has a great corner, but obviously his last fight with Colby was not a ground affair. The one before that obviously was not a ground affair because he absolutely shut the lights out. We just have not seen him really do that, but that's more so because of the matchup rather than his skill. But we'll see. Sometimes you get in the momentum of doing things a certain way when you haven't done them in a while. It's been a while since he's done that, at least under the biggest lights, man. But yeah.
I know, dude, and it'll be pretty exciting. I feel like I feel like you're right. I feel like Usman will probably get a little bit more prideful and be like, all right, let's throw hands.
Yep.
You want hands? I'll give them to you.
You think you could beat me here? I'm taking away all your hope. Who knows what can happen? Let's go ahead and get into yours, man. Set the stage.
All right, so punishment in sports. As we know, the UFC has made many strives to be seen as a legitimate sport, or as legitimate as other conventional sports. From the Reebok deal to have a more uniform look, as opposed to like the old race car look that was kind of going on, which was like pretty ugly, not gonna lie, to of course like being able to sign up with ESPN and having a lot, their fights linked to them.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of the optically it's generally changed, but it's optically it looks like a legitimate sport based off of a lot of those like variables that they've addressed. But how fighters are, of course, one, paid, two, how they're like how they're punished for their general like demeanors and doings outside of the cage. We've had many cases of MMA fighters, of course, doing certain things that are less than quality outside of the cage. So a lot of people in sports, like in let's just say in like the NBA, the NBA communications page, of course, reports like who's fined and who is punished. Like Kevin Durant, of course, was fined $25,000 for, like, Jesus, that's like almost the entire purse, like of a lot of undercard fighters.
I think that was just for saying something to the fam, like cussing him out.
Yes, yeah, obscene language. Whatchamacallit, King's Rashawn Holmes. Mm-hmm. He was fined. So there's like a lot of like fines and suspensions that happen in more conventional sports.
Yeah.
Even for minor things like cussing out a fan. In MMA, if a person cusses out a fan, I mean, it'll probably be used in the promotion for their next fight if they make it big.
Right.
So what I'm here to talk about is, should the UFC be more harsher with like punishment? In my opinion, people may want that, but they don't really want that. I feel like people really would like want to see a John Jones get fined $50,000 for gallivanting around and doing John Jones stuff. Mm-hmm. Or see McGregor get fined for doing all the, for punching old men and, driving cars around crazy like. We'd want to like believe that we want that, but like, do we really want that? I don't think so. I think like MMA fighters, like the characters of MMA fighters, like people love the edgy, unhinged characters that we, that we've generally watched and fight or watch fight. GSP definitely helped in like, he made it a lot more like his attitude and demeanor generally made MMA a lot more palatable for the layman. Yeah. But like a lot of like MMA is predicated, or actually combat sports in general is just predicated on the fact that like you can get two people cursing at each other next to a doctor's scale and then like kill each other the next day. But I don't know. What do you think generally?
Yeah. I feel like where I stand on this kind of stuff. It's just when a fight happens, let's just erase all the sports and all the setup behind it. Some shit usually has to take place before a fight happens, and that stuff is not usually, hey, Bob, how's your day going? It's not like this PC exchange that leads to fights. It's usually vitriol, it's anger, jealousy. It's the things that people most likely are to get fined for. What usually pops off before a fight. So just the foundation of fight sports, combat sports, is built off of some kind of clash. Now it has been, like you said, branded in a way that's more palatable for some people, but you can't get rid of the essence of that. And most people watch a fight to see somebody get fucked up, you know, for simple terms. And that alone deserves a fine and would be a fine in most other sports in itself. The whole action of what MMA is about would merit fines and suspensions in other sports. So it does have to be redefined. And yeah, that's why I was just, when I started off the sport, when I started off the show, I was saying it's frustrating to see people, and it's not frustrating to see people take the high road or be the bigger person, because that's ultimately what you want to see. But it's almost like people forget the essence of what the combat sports is really about. And I'm not saying that you can't have respect for your opponent. I'm just saying it comes with all of it. You can't just ignore the fucked up and the dirty side of it, because that's really the essence of where fighting really started and kind of what it's built off of. We've just been able to flip it and make it into something more positive, but you can't get rid of those things and pretend it's the same thing. It's just not going to work, and that's why the UFC is working so well. That's why the WWE and the wrestling got so much of a pop that they did, is because they were super PC at first. Wrestling was a kids show, and then Steve Austin just popped off one time, went off a script, and it redefined the entire sport. You know, so. Yeah, people can say they'd like it to be a little bit more harsh, and I'm sure there's things that they can do and measures that they can put in place to be more harsh. But as the UFC, their job is to make money, to put on good fights, and to garner attention. And if these things garner attention, then we're playing into their business plan. Now, if the UFC had a union, that's where their job comes in setting those strict limits. But as far as the organization, any combat organization, for the most part, they would be a fool not to play all of it, because that taps into the essence of what humans are, what us animals are.
I know, and it's generally like, it is sometimes irritating because, like, of course you want MMA to, like, look,
of course,
better,
yeah.
You know, to, like, the general public, so, you know, it becomes more popular, and then the sport can grow. But, you know, at the same time, we drink a lot of tea here. We drink an incredibly amount of tea. And we can't say that we'll stop anytime soon.
I'm not.
So
I'm not.
It would be nice. It's nice job security for MMA journalists, podcasters, and media members everywhere. So,
bro, just imagine, all right? You're at a grocery store, and you hear these two chicks just talking mad shit. You know, a couple hours over. Tell me you're not gonna watch it, man. You're just in the fucking grocery. Of course you're gonna watch it. Just see what the fuck's going on, man. And that's what makes this sport so fucking great. Is there's nothing that can go on that you would pay attention to like a fight. You know what I'm saying? It just makes you go, what the fuck is going on over here? You know? So you don't want to get rid of the essence of you know what fights or what creates fights, and it's sometimes that negative energy, that bad energy, and obviously we would love to clean it up, but it's one of those things that, like, once you pick a flower up, it's no longer a flower. It's starting to die. It's no longer what it was before. I feel like that's where we're on the essence of doing with something like the UFC, where it's just like we think we want something, and then it ends up changing into something that we didn't really want. But yeah, I mean it's an interesting conversation. And you really can't put combat sports in there with other sports because literally what their sport is suspensions and fines in every other sport. Can't even look at it. Can't find it the same. You can draw lines, but again, that's not for the UFC. That's for unions and stuff like that.
Yeah, that makes sense. But hey, what are you gonna do, man?
What are you gonna do? Like you said, drink the tea.
You're gonna drink the tea. You're gonna put in some sugar when you talk about it. You're gonna drink it. It's gonna taste good. And yeah, you're gonna just enjoy the next, I don't know, CTE addled fight person, I don't know, punch a random old man in a bar.
Yeah, I definitely listen, man. I do think there needs to be some kind of something should be put in place to discourage a certain level of behavior, but it's a thin line. It's really I'm not going to take the time to think it out, you know. It is very hard because these are at essence some of the most edgy people in the world. So what do you do? But man, let's say you're getting ready for a fight. You're in the back practicing. Let's say you're up in like an hour, 2 hours. What's in your headphones, Doc? What are you listening to get you ready for this fight?
Oh man!
What puts you in the zone? Are you listening? Do you just go no music? You're just like fuck, I'm in this, or do you? What's your strategy for getting in the zone?
I'm listening to Mom's Spaghetti by Marshall Mathers.
that's a shot fired. That's shots fired.
And Darude's Sandstorm. Those are.
I don't know what made you say that, because I literally was just listening to that song the other day, like cracking up, just like thinking of me working at fucking Skate City, and that's the fucking Speed Skate song, bro.
Fun Shaquille fact: Shaquille used to work for a place called Skate City.
The best DJ. Yep, the best DJ in Colorado.
Point being,
you're not really. He's not.
Yeah, my ring name would be Sandstorm.
He's lying. He's just being
my ring name would be Sandstorm, and that would be my walkout every single time. You know how Dustin comes out with the James Brown every single time? I would come out with Sandstorm, Drew Sandstorm, every single motherfucking time. Like the lights just going. Imagine the lights going crazy as I go and.
It would be good. I'm not hating. It wouldn't be bad. It wouldn't be bad. Are you serious? Bro, are you being serious right now?
It would be the most hilarious.
I feel like you're pulling my leg. Are you bullshitting? Are you being dead ass right now? You're not walking out. Fuck out of here.
See, my ring name, my cage name would be Sandstorm, and I'd walk out to Sandstorm.
You can't do that.
I don't think you're understanding. I don't think you're understanding me very much. Anyway,
he's not. He's full of shit. He's lying to all of you fight fans right now. He's not going to be. His name would be Wet Thighs before it would be Sandstorm. But
bro, you just don't understand me. You don't get my spirit. Don't get my artistic passion.
I'm walking out to the fucking the Attack on Titan, not the one that I sent you, but like the when the fucking Colossal first appears, and then you just have the that's what I'm fucking walking out to. Yeah. Yep.
Man.
Or I'll give a shout out to who I think has one of the best walkouts, but he changed it for his own record. Whatever. 007, that one got me going, man. When Figgy walked out to 007, I'm just
He walks out to that every time, though, right?
Except his last one. The last one, he made a song called "Let's Get Figgy with It" and walked out to that.
Oh yeah. You're right.
I missed the 007, man. It just set the mood for me, and I'm just like, somebody's about to get done in. Honorable mention is Mortal Kombat, but you can't get your ass kicked after walking out to one. Just saying,
bro. We're gonna hear it this weekend. That's
we definitely are.
Every time. Blaydes listens to that every time.
Who else do you think has the best walkout song? Anybody off the top of your head? It could be no. I will say Anderson Silva walking out to DMX back in the day was iconic.
Yeah,
that was fucking iconic.
Dustin Poirier when he comes out to James Brown, like when the stadium's just silent and he's just like walking out, and you just hear the "hit me" and dun, 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 you know, like that shit that's hard.
It is dope.
And him just walking out to that looks, you know, the hot sauce salesman just walking out to that song is dope.
Dude, cost to be the cost, man.
Yes, goddamn. Like you just feel like I feel like walking out to like something that's not like high energy like that will just put you in a very relaxed like mood. Like walking out to funk or jazz or soul would like just really, you know, as opposed to Israel Adesanya coming out to Lincoln Park, fucking Somewhere I Belong. When he fought Vittori.
I'm not hating. I understand.
I loved it though.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not hating.
I was singing because I know the lyrics. I know all the lyrics to that song. So I was singing the song.
You're getting down.
I wanna feel like I push for something real. I was just like,
yeah, you're like, I'm in the moment. I'm there.
Yeah. And like he was just walking all, you know, it was great. It was really great.
I do really enjoy ones that put you in, like, it almost feels like you're setting the atmosphere. And shout out to I don't know who he walks out to, but Islam Makhachev's fucking walkout song, it creates an atmosphere for me, man. I'm just like, some dirty shit's about to go down. Like, it's just fucking, it feels like a Russian club. That's how I feel when he walks out. I feel like I'm in some Russian techno club and somebody's about to get done and dirty, man, Taken style. So, yeah. I love when it creates an atmosphere. For sure. And Dustin Poirier is one of those ones that does it. Figgy's 007 definitely fucking does it. Israel Adesanya is usually always on point with his. He thinks his through to the T. But yeah, man, I just wanted to hear what you're listening to before the fight, what your potential
I do like when like Usman and Ngannou walk out to like African Afro beats.
Dude, I love that too because again, it sets the fucking environment for me. When it sets the fucking environment and it's just like it just hits different. It just hits fucking different, especially when you see Francis's big ass fucking just walking like, yep, this is it. I'm the executioner.
That's true.
You know. We need a UFC Africa, man. If that ever happens, we gotta buy tickets and just fucking make it happen, man.
That'd be fucking insane. It has to happen in Nigeria or I guess South Africa.
Yeah. I'd agree with that. I'm here for shit. I'm here for Nigeria. Niger. Stand up.
Niger, bro. That's what it has to.
Let's go.
Anyway, do you have any like loose ends you need to tie? Any last words?
Wrap it up, bro. Wrap it up like prom night.
Anyway, thank you for listening to the 10-8 podcast. If you've made it this far, I'm JoJo. That's Shaquille. Please like, subscribe, be our friend. We love you. We love you no matter country, clade, belief system, kind of, that you come from. You know, if you're of like mind to want to talk about fights and debate your points, then do so. Throw a comment or two. Tell us what you think. Hit the like, and if you dislike, you know, double jab the dislike button. Anyway, I'm probably gonna go and I'm gonna eat this Mexican candy that my sister got.
I'm not with that.
Yeah.
I'm not with the Mexican candy. But nonetheless, that sounds good. That does it doesn't. It's like spices. I'm not with it. I don't get it. I'm not that
spices.
I'm not there, man. Spices on
your
candy. Man. Anyways, let us know what you guys think about that in the comments, because I need more people on my side with this. It's something that you had to have as a kid for sure. I never got paprika in my lollipops. I don't get it. But yeah, until next time, y'all, thanks for tuning in to the 10-8 podcast again. Like, subscribe, comment. We're going to try to do this every fucking week. Next week, we got Volk, right, man?
Yeah, Volk. Next week it's fight week. It's real fight week, man.
Okay. Yeah, it's real fight week. So tune in to us next time. We'll see y'all soon. Peace out.